Hey, welcome back to the Marieverse. I'm Marie, and today I'll be talking about my vocation as requested by Imani. And also, I'll be talking about how clean it is here. Audiences, starting with my vocation, okay? I actually had a long piece. I told you guys in the description of the last video that it completely got cut out. It was such a doozy. So, regarding the work culture, I always tell people back home, come to Japan. It's amazing. But whatever you do, don't work here.
What?
Don't work here. It ruins it. It ruins it. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? Look, the work culture is ridiculous. If you think it's bad in America, you you have no idea. You have no idea at all. There's a good thing. There's a good thing. Um, Ladies, you get menstrual leave. Woo! Amazing. However, everybody, you're expected to work overtime with no overtime pay.
Bro, what are you talking about?
And regarding the menstrual leave, you're expected not to take it. I've literally, so I work here in a mysterious situation. People wanted me to talk about my vocation. Okay, I'll talk about my vocation a little bit. I'm under contract. I can't talk about what I do, but my boss has talked to me multiple times about me taking my menstrual leave.
I beg your pardon.
And my boss is a woman.
I beg your pardon.
She was like, "Oh, maybe you could go to the doctor to see if you can like fix that so you're not taking menstrual leave." So I'm like, "Are you telling me to get painkillers?" And she's like, "No, no, no, no. But maybe you could go to the doctor and it could help so you won't have to take menstrual leave." And I'm like, "What are you trying to say? You're trying to tell me to get painkillers without actually saying it because you know that's literally illegal." She was literally like, "I've noticed that you're taking menstrual leave every month. Are you okay?" And I was like,
What? What the?
"Yeah. Like I have a period every month? Are you some sort of alien woman? Do you not understand what this is? Why are you asking me that?" So I didn't understand the confusion, She said like no, she wasn't asking me to get painkillers, but the undertone was definitely heard. Like, come on now. We both know what you're asking. 9 times out of 10, your coworkers won't be using it at all. I asked my coworkers and they were like, "Oh, no, I just take painkillers." That just works? You just take pain I'm not gonna go into detail on why I need to take the leave. That's not what this is about, but girls, if you know, you know, like, it's not that easy, and I'm not about to be going to work, walking around all day, running around all day in absolute agony, wanting to. I, I'm not going to incriminate myself either. I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to my coworkers. I'm not going to do that to the people around me. Like, it's not going to be a nice working environment. So it's best that I just stay home. Matter of fact, coworkers will even use their vacation days instead of taking sick leave, which you also get here. I don't know why. It's just the mentality that you have to like go to work no matter what. Don't take the leave. And if you take the leave, it's coming out of your vacation so that at least you can't take any more leave, which is kind of fricked up, in my opinion. On the other hand, on a more positive note, if you're a salaried employee, you usually get very good health insurance. However, if you're a full time salaried employee, like I said, overtime work with no pay is expected. And I think a lot of people work at least 9.5 hours a day. Like the bare minimum for whatever job you're doing could be 9.5 hours, but then you're also expected to work unpaid overtime on top of that, which is pretty insane. Pretty insane in my opinion. So, in essence, I highly suggest that you only work here if you're an entrepreneur or you really really want to come here, and that's the only way that you can. Okay. On to the next bit. Let's talk about how clean it is here. It is so clean. I've been all over, and I must say, I only took maybe a day trip to Osaka, and that is the only place where I could correlate the mess to being the same as in America. Surprisingly, though there are rarely any public trash cans, it is very clean here. You're expected to bring your trash home most of the time or throw it away at the station.
Huh?
Anyways, or at a convenience.
Stop it.
Yeah, it's very clean here. I've literally seen somebody mopping the concrete, like outside. I've seen somebody sweeping and mopping the concrete. Insane. The only places that I would say are like really dirty are wherever people go to drink and to smoke after hours, like not in the restaurants, but if you're outside like in a park or something, just don't. Just don't. The bathrooms sometimes if you're in a more rural area or you're in an area where people drink and smoke and party and stuff, the bathrooms are disgusting. But every other place, peachy clean. I told you about this the video before last. Everywhere else, nice. But oh my God, like I've been on a few hikes here and the bathroom, sometimes it's like a box where nothing it's like a hole in the ground. And you can smell everything as soon as you walk in. Oh my gosh, I almost threw up. I went to this public bathroom on this hiking trip. It was a very long hike, so I couldn't wait until the end and it was disgusting. As soon as I walked in, the smell of like fermented piss just like filled my nostrils. I couldn't even I didn't have a mask. I just kept my lips freaking pinched together. So yeah, yeah. And then there was another time where I went to a bathroom in a more rural place near a beach and it was like spiders. So many spiders everywhere. Like it was like this close to my face. Very scary. Very scary. Absolutely terrifying. So I was telling you about Osaka a little bit before, and I only went for a day trip. I saw this cute little otter cafe. Maybe I'll upload some videos later, but ah, it was so hard to find a bathroom. I passed a whole street of restaurants, and the only bathroom that was available was in a clam shop. And when I tell you, it was so dirty. There were clams all over the floor, and the bathroom was in the back hallway. It was like an employee bathroom, like backstage of a really dirty concert. It was disgusting. Yeah. So also in Osaka, I only went there really to go to USJ, which is Universal Studios Japan. Because you guys know I'm from Florida.
Plug.
So I really, really, really love Universal Studios. Bump Disney. I'm sorry, y'all, super Disney fans, but I'm not into that. I love Universal Studios. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very, very terrified of rides where you actually ride a physical roller coaster. So I love Universal Studios because you're riding a virtual coaster instead. Top tier. However, USJ here is, I'm sorry, Universal Studios here is much more food based. Japanese people that really love unique foods, they like trying pretty foods and things like that. So Universal Studios Japan really focuses on the food aspect more than the rides. They still have Harry Potter, real cool, but they have way less rides, way less virtual rides, way less rides in general. They do have the Jaws ride though. They still have it. So I rode that, even though I couldn't understand nothing. But the girl who was driving the boat, she was putting her foot into that accent. I tell you, oh my God, I only understood like ev- one word out of every 10. But I still remembered it from all the other times I went to Universal Studios. So it was all good. Super fun, but for a full day, I went during Halloween Horror Nights. Don't get me wrong, Halloween Horror Nights time was amazing. I've never been to Halloween Horror Nights in the States, so I don't know like how to compare it. But it was so cool. I actually got scared. I went into the same horror house. I went into the same haunted house 3 times, and each time I was scared in a different way. It was insane. You know how there's the Shrek like ride, but it's actually like immersive theater at Universal Studios Orlando. They had that, but instead of Shrek, it was Jujutsu Kaisen. And I'm gonna lie, it was low key like short. It wasn't as good as the Shrek one, but it was still really cool to be in it. It had subtitles at least, I think, if I remember correctly. But at the end of the show, no one clapped. Everybody just sat there silently staring at the screen until the lights turned on. And that's something I've noticed. People at the movies, they don't clap after the movie. On flights, when you land, nobody claps. And I say this to say that audiences are really non reactive here. You're not going to get much of a reaction out of the audience, which is very shocking coming from America because people are putting in their 2 cents wherever, all over the place. So I was personally shocked by that. You might be, or you might not be because you watched this video. All right, y'all. I really hope you learned something new. If you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, leave a comment. I'll get to it as soon as I can. If I'd rather make a video about it, then it'll be in the next video, hopefully. I'll do my best to upload weekly. So if you want to learn more, check it out. If you know anybody who would like to learn more about living in Japan, share it with them. Thank you so much for watching. See ya.